皆さん、こんにちは。キャリアアドバイザーのケイです。This is what I do, my career journey。この番組は、様々な分野で活躍するプロフェッショナルたちに迫るリアルボイスインタビューシリーズです。どのように今のキャリアにたどり着いたのか、そしてこれからの未来をどう描いているのか、そんなキャリアの裏側にあるストーリーをお伺いしながら、人と企業の思いをつなぎ、働くことの本質や魅力をお届けいたします。本日は素敵な大学生お二人をお招きしております。カリフォルニアからがんを患う親を持つ子どもたち、また親をがんで亡くした子どもたちをサポートする全米規模の非営利団体キャンプケサムからヘイリー・バンチさんとターラ・カデシアさんをお招きしています。キャンプケサムでは大学生たちが中心となり、子どもたちに魔法のような時間を届けるサマーキャンプを運営しています。本日はその運営の最前線で活躍する大学生リーダーのお二人にお話をお伺いします。どんな思いで活動に参加しているのか、子どもたちとの関わりを通じて何を感じているのか、学生ならではの視点と心温まるエピソードをお届けします。So thank you so much for taking time to join us today. I've really been looking forward to this opportunity to speak with you guys. So I'd love to hear more about the Camp Kesem, your activity, and your personal experience and thought. So let's get started.
Good. Thank you so much for having us.
All right. Thank you. So to start, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I guess I'll start. My name's Haley Bunch. We both go to Cal State University, Long Beach. I've been involved with Camp Kesem for the past 4 years, so since I started college. And I first started just as a general member. Then I went to camp as a counselor, just in the cabins. And since then, I've been involved as a unit leader at camp. I've been to camp 3 times. I've worked as an outreach coordinator where I communicated with our community, talked with community partners and with our Kesem families. And now I'm working as a director of our chapter.
Fantastic. Thank you, Haley.
And my name is Talar Kadesian, and I also go to Cal State Long Beach, as Haley mentioned. I'm currently a biology major, and this is my 3rd year at camp for Kesem. Haley actually told me about it after she joined her 1st year. I've been an operations coordinator, so like planning the whole week at camp, and this year I am now director with Haley, my co.
All right, thank you. So could you tell us about what Camp Kesem is? What is the organization mission and what kind of children does it serve?
Camp Kesem is a national nonprofit organization, and we support kids whose parents have been affected by cancer. So throughout the school year, one of our main goals is fundraising. We have many fundraising events. We host a big gala in the spring, and that all leads up to a week-long summer camp, which serves children from the ages of 6 to 18, where they're able to come and have fun, kind of escape from like reality. And through our efforts throughout the school year, they're able to come free of cost. And this also includes all the volunteers that come as well.
This is nationwide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You call it chapter, right? So each university has their own chapter, but some university doesn't have it. What's the specialty about Long Beach State University chapter?
That's a really good question. So Camp Kesem has over 130 chapters located at college campuses across America. I think we cover about 44 states in America. But Long Beach, we are relatively new. Kesem itself, Kesem National, started in the year 2000 in Stanford, California. We started in the year 2018. So it wasn't too long ago that we started to have our chapter on campus. And it started pretty slowly. We had one in-person camp before COVID. And then when COVID hit, we had a few online camps. And then once we started to come back in person, that's really when our chapter was able to kick it off and start growing and serving more kids year after year. And now I think we are coming on, I think it's our 6th or 5th in-person camp.
Wow, so becoming slow, but getting little by little bigger and then bigger.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. How many members do you have right now?
So currently our board that run the entire organization comes to 25 people. And
Mhm.
within that, there are 6 positions total. We
Okay.
have a position for social media and reaching out to families and volunteers through like our Instagram and through Facebook. We also have, like Haley mentioned, some people who deal with the families and reach out to families, connect with those families. There are the operations coordinators, which help plan like materials coming to camp and what is happening each day at camp. There's also a finance team we call development, and they're the money people. So they're the ones who are pushing everyone to fundraise, creating fundraising events. We also have the gala committee, and they help plan our big gala, which is one of our biggest fundraisers every year. And then there's us as well, and we kind of oversee all of these positions. There's
Okay.
also a position who specializes in training those new
Oh,
volunteers also. Mhm.
okay. Okay. So what motivated you to get involved with Camp Kesem?
Yeah, so I didn't really understand how impactful Kesem could really be until I went to camp for the first time,
Mhm.
where I got to see the direct impact that we could have on our campers. We were able to just like create such a safe space for them to not only share their story and
Uh-huh.
connect with other kids who are going through similar things, but we were also just able to like allow them to get out of their house and have fun because a lot of these kids are facing pretty big stressors at home and they have a lot of worries. So when they come to camp, they're able to simply be kids and have the opportunity to have fun and not worry about things.
Um, I think I didn't know much about the organization going into it. Haley was the one who introduced it to me, like I mentioned previously, and she kind of just described it with nothing but positive things. And I think coming into college, that's something that I was looking for, just like a positive group of people that I could like relate to, but also like help the community at the same time. So I think that's definitely what motivated me initially. And once I got into the organization, every single person greeted me with a smile. Everyone involved is just such a unique and amazing person. So it just made it that much more fun and made me want to continue doing what we do. And then, of course, going to camp, just seeing the direct impact we have on these kids and how their faces just light up. And you can tell that this is probably the first time in a while that they're able to just express themselves as kids for a week over summer. Also continued, definitely motivated me saying, like, this is some really powerful work.
So about your role and the behind the scenes, so what kind of preparation or responsibilities are you involved in throughout the year?
Totally, yeah. So I think there's a lot that goes into it every year. Haley and I, since we're directors this year, our main kind of goal is just to oversee all of our board members and support them and make sure everything is running smoothly. We also have an advisory board, and this is some parents, some community contacts, some people parents that are like supporting us throughout the year. So we also keep in contact with them. I know, Kay, you're one of our advisory board members as well. So that also is a big help for us leading up to camp, just because it's definitely a different perspective and you guys provide us with so much advice as well. But other than that, like I mentioned, we're just pretty much overseeing and well, just making sure all the details line up perfectly so that we can have the best week at camp over summer.
Okay. So you doing the same role from the beginning, or are you becoming like a director position? What was the like a timing? Yeah.
We both started as just camp counselors,
Hmm.
and after that, it really just like there's a moment after camp where you realize that like this is something I want to continue
Mhm.
doing over the years, which pushes you to want to be more involved. So I can speak on my part first, but after being a camp counselor, I then ran for the operations role. So that was, I got to see like the inside scoop of like all the logistics that go behind planning camp and putting all the materials together and getting donations for like all our activities at camp. And after that year, that's when I decided to run for director for my last year at Kesem.
How about you, Haley?
Yeah, so I was involved as a camp counselor actually twice before I was able to get involved on board, just because
Mm,
I didn't know if I would have enough time to commit year round.
mm,
But once I did, it really just became something I loved doing. I first started in the outreach coordinator position, where it ha kind of has two sides. One side to outreach is communicating with our camper families and our possibly new camper families. And another side is communicating with our community contacts, which are people in Long Beach or the cities around that
mm.
help us try to find new families, help us try to get contacts in hospitals, in schools, simply because, as you said before, even people in Long Beach really don't know about Kesem. A lot of people who are going through these things have never heard about our organization before. And it was kind of my job to get our name out in the community and talk to people personally and gain their trust and show them what our nonprofit could do for their kids and for their family. So a lot of the things I did was going to community events, tabling, sitting at a booth, handing out
Mhm.
brochures, talking to camper families. And then eventually, a lot of the families we would meet in person and talk to them about camp. And now I'm a director.
All right, thank you. So, for students who wants to join Camp Kesem team, how can they get involved and what do they do once they join?
Yeah, so we have different events at campus that helps to raise awareness for our club. For example, like once the school year starts, we have a week of welcome, and that's when us, alongside all the other clubs on campus, have a booth and we'll kind of just talk to all these incoming students about our camp. And that's one of the biggest ways that we get a lot of our new counselors. So we definitely like depend on that a lot, and we kind of just like outreach ourselves to campus. A lot of it is also personal connections too. So I know I've talked about Kesem in so many of my school classes, and that's piqued some interest in a lot of people. And we have bi-weekly meetings on Monday nights on campus that allows people to bring their friends, bring people who've heard about us, so that we can just like talk and connect with people. And after that point, I think people are more than willing to apply to be a counselor and come to all the trainings to be further involved in the organization.
So, is there any training involved? There are other annual activity or events beside summer camp?
Yeah, so we definitely go through some extensive training with our counselors just to
Mhm.
make sure everyone is as prepared as we can be for any situation that can come up as camp. We're actually in the middle of our trainings right now for our next
Oh,
set
okay.
of counselors, which is really exciting. It's cool to see how excited they are to like go to camp for the first time.
Mm.
We have some trainings with Kesem Nationals that we also communicate with, and they let us know like what we should be talking about and
Mm.
conversations to bring up. And these new counselors also have the opportunity to kind of get a nice look at what camp is like through our Friends and Family Day, for example, which happens twice a year outside, like at a park, where families can come and meet us for the first time, and some of our new counselors can connect with these families for the first time as well. So it all leads up so that it's not just like all of a sudden being thrown into camp. So there is a lot of training that goes along behind the scenes.
On outreach, I think that I was able to really understand that some of our families might have a hard time letting their kids come to camp just because it is hard to build that trust. So
Mhm.
our day camps definitely help with that. Some things I sometimes tell families as well that I think helps them feel a little more comfortable is that one of the really cool things about Kesem is that we are a national organization. So some we have a headquarters in California that really oversees every single chapter in America, and all of our things have regulations and protocols. And
Mhm.
we all have to abide by the same workbooks, the same the same materials that they give to us. We have standards. We have to answer to, Talara and I have meetings every week with one
Mhm.
of our program coordinators from Kesem National. So everything is regulated and everything has rules. It is a very professional organization, and there's a lot of training that goes into it. So I think parents always feel better when they hear that.
Okay, great. So let's dive into your on-the-ground experience at the Camp Kesem. So, what has been one of the most memorable projects or events you've worked on, and what challenge did you face?
So, Make the Magic is our annual fundraising gala. It's a very beautiful event. A lot of planning goes into it throughout the year. We have two coordinators who look for silent auction items, sponsorships. They work on the decor. And just really, it's a very time-consuming event to plan just because you have to reach out to so many people in the community and ask them to donate to our event. We have to communicate with our venue and do a lot of party planning. And it all leads up to this very emotional and very impactful event where we share a dinner with a lot of our members in our community. Some of our camper parents come. A lot of people who may not know about us but have heard of us through friends come and are able to kind of see what we do. We start off with dinner and some silent auction items. We do some activities, and at the end of the night, we have a video that we play of camp, which kind of allows our families to see how fun camp can be for our campers. A lot of times when people hear about Kesem, they visualize it to be something that is maybe a little sad, just simply because it is associated with healing from cancer. But not all the time do they realize that it's actually something very fun. So that video allows them to see that. And another thing that allows them to see the impact of our organization is that we want our families to come and speak. So we have two speakers. One is a camper and one is a camper parent. And they are able to speak at that event and tell everyone how Kesem impacted their lives and tell their personal stories through those speeches. And then we're able to just raise so much money for our event with that gala,
Mhm.
and it allows camp to happen, really.
It's also such a special event because kind of like sitting back and like looking at all the people that are there, it's so special to see just like some campers, the volunteers, the donors, like all of our families that come together and just like you can see the community Kesem creates just in this one event and the magic that we're able to create from the event too just makes
Mhm.
it such like a memorable and rewarding thing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of love and trust and connection and the bonding. So all the positive energy in one place and one night. So that was the beautiful event. Yeah. Okay, so about the camp, how was your experience interacting with the children during the camp?
It's definitely a different experience with every child that comes to camp. We see so
Mhm.
many different personalities come in, which makes it so fun. It's always just such a great experience seeing the kids open up over camp and how once they're dropped off, they're like attached to their parents' leg and they don't want to leave. But by the end of camp, there are tears arising because they don't want to go home. So it's
Yeah.
always just like such a special thing connecting with every child and hearing what their stories and watching them just be a kid again. It's such like a positive and like
Mhm.
really rewarding thing to experience with these kids for a whole week too.
You have from six is the youngest, and the oldest is 18. So how are you going to divide during the camp?
We divide all the children up into three groups. So
Mhm.
there's the blue unit, which is the youngest of all the kids. And then there's like the middle age group. And then we have our oldest ones that are closer to 18. And these three units, we plan some activities that are specified for each age group, just so it's more like fitting and they can connect with other people their age. And we have our older group, we have a teen leadership program. And for them, we have some team building skills, personal building skills to kind of help them in their teenage life as they're preparing to graduate high school. And then we also have activities that everyone does all together. So I think the kids have fun being in their age group,
Yeah.
but you'll also see like the youngest kids start bonding with the oldest ones, and then they become like best friends by the end of camp. So
Oh,
yeah, it's great.
all right. So, could you share a specific story or a moment with a camper that left a strong impression on you?
Yeah, so it's hard to pinpoint an exact moment just because I do
Mhm.
think it is a culmination of moments throughout camp that really shows you how comfortable the kids are becoming with
Mm.
you and how much they want to share with you. You'll see as the days go on that these nervous kids who came in at first who didn't really want to open up will start sharing little things about their lives and start talking about their home life,
Mm.
even though you didn't really ask, but you create that safe space for them because you know that if they want to share, they will. So just being able to listen and hear their stories and see them become comfortable with you is really impactful. And then some things that have always touched me to hear are when our campers in conversation will mention that they love what we do so much that when they get older, they want to become counselors so that they can do what we have done for other
Oh.
kids.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just to see how much impact we've made on them, that they want to do that for other people when they're older, means a lot for sure. It means a lot.
Okay, so what do you think is the value or significance of being involved in this kind of work while still a student?
Yeah, so I think a big thing is being a student and being involved in this community. There's a big way to connect with people on campus and finding a community that like you fit in with. And I feel like Yellow, you probably agree with this too, but everyone who we work with and like all of the counselors we've become such great friends with. So it's not really just like work. It's more of like a fun thing that we can all do and connect together during that time we're doing it and making that impact while also being a student too. So it's pretty much just like creating that community on campus.
Yeah. And then it also just allows us to have something during our undergraduate years that really means something. I think
Mhm.
that sometimes when you go to class, you're learning all this information, and at points you can think to yourself, why am I learning this? What is this for? Like, what meaning does this have? But coming to Kesem and being able to do work that I see directly impacts others around me gives part of my college experience such big meaning, and it allows me to feel fulfilled and feel like I'm making a difference for sure.
Okay. All right, thank you. What would you like the people who don't yet know about Camp Kesem to understand?
I think the biggest thing that we always try to help people
Mhm.
understand is that Kesem is a place where kids can come and have fun. Uh,
Mhm.
Being outreach coordinator, I talked with a lot of families who were hesitant to send their kids to camp because their kids thought that it would just be sad the whole time. But in
Mhm.
reality, we would have so many fun activities planned throughout the week. We have a pool where all of our kids go to the pool for a few hours and play games. We have one of our biggest events is called Messy Games, where
Mhm.
the kids just get dressed in clothes that can get messy and they come to a big field and we throw holly powder at each other. We throw shaving cream at each other, water balloons. Just we get super messy and have fun, and there's no worries throughout the whole event.
Mhm.
And there are there are so many countless activities that we do that don't touch on cancer at all and don't touch on the emotional aspect of it at all. And it really allows the kids to bond with each other and trust each other and also trust their
Mhm.
counselors. And this kind of does lead up to one event where we create a space where if our kids want to share about their stories and share about their experience with Kesson, they can. This is called empowerment. And it's an event where we sometimes it's different every time, but for example, we might allow them to sit down with their cabin and we might ask them a question like, what is a favorite memory you have of your past?
Mhm.
Or what does Kesem mean to you? And we might ask them to draw a picture of that. So we give them a chance to do that. And if they want to, they can share.
Mhm.
So we never mention the word cancer, but a lot of times our kids will link that question to their past experiences with their family because they want to share and they want to be given the opportunity to talk
Mhm.
about how cancer has affected their family and their lives and their worries. And it just like gives them the opportunity to connect with other kids going through similar things and allows them to be seen and be heard, and it allows them for them to share their story and it not to be awkward like it might be at home.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So finally, could you share a bit more about this summer's upcoming camp and how people can support or get involved?
Definitely. We're so excited to say that our camp is set in June. We have our campsite that we've been going to. They are so amazing and it has so many amenities for the kids to go and have fun at. Our goal is to serve around 40 campers this year. So this is about 10 more campers than the previous year. So it's going to be our biggest one yet, which we're super, super excited for. And I would say the biggest thing that we could say leading up to camp and how people can get more involved is to just spread the word about Camp Kesem. And you never know who is going through something like this and how it could impact their life. So I think the biggest thing is just spreading the word, making people more aware of it so that they know that something like this exists and there is an outlet that kids can come to in such terrible situations that they might be going through at home. So that's definitely the biggest thing to help out with us leading up to camp. And apart from that, we have all of our resources that I think we've linked to you, but donations are a big one. We're accepting donations at any time, and that all leads up to the camp that families get to go to for free. So that's a big one. And also just like material wise that we're looking for leading up to camp. A lot of the things that we bring are donated from companies and families. So any of these things are a great way to help, but the biggest thing for sure is just spreading the word.
We're always looking for new campers.
Okay, so thank you both so much for joining us today. It was truly inspiring to hear about your work and the passion you bring to the Camp Kesem. Thank you again, and we wish you all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
さあ、いかがでしたでしょうか？本日のキャリアストーリーから働くことの意味や自分らしく生きるヒントが見つかれば嬉しいです。This is what I do, my career journey では今後も多彩なキャリアストーリーを通じて人と企業の魅力をお届けしていきます。番組へのご感想やお問い合わせはキャリアブレインの公式ホームページからお気軽にご連絡ください。それではまた次回お会いいたしましょう。キャリアアドバイザーのケイでした。